Solve exponential equations, part 2. So in part 1, I showed you how to solve special exponential equations, which had the base, so the number that your equation was equal to, so you had a variable in the exponent, and the base, there was another number in the equation where the base, where that number was the base raised to some power. So that was an easier setup. These are different, okay? 13 cannot be written as 4 to some power that's obvious to us, okay? It can, but it's probably some decimal number that we're not familiar with. And similarly, if this were a 16, I could write it as 4 squared, but it's not. It's not some obvious power of 4. So what you do in this situation is you take the natural log or the common log of both sides. I'm going to use the natural log. And the reason why we do that is so we can get the variable out of the exponent. So that's the first step here is you take, first of all, you have to isolate the base with the exponent and the variables in the exponent. You have to isolate that, but that's already isolated here. So I'm going to take the natural log of 4 to the 4x minus 1. And then I'm also going to take the natural log of 13. So I just took the natural log of both sides. Doing this allows me to take the exponent and put it out front. So this is going to become 4x minus 1 times the natural log of 4. And this is going to be equal to the natural log of 13. Okay, now I want to solve for x. So I'm going to divide out by natural log of 4 on both sides. And that gives me 4x minus 1. Let's see here. 4x minus 1 is equal to the natural log of 13 divided by the natural log of 4. And then I'm going to add 1 to both sides of the equation, so that I get 4x is equal to the natural log of 13 over the natural log of 4 plus 1. And now I'm going to divide both sides by 4 to get x by itself. So x equals the natural log of 13 times the natural log of 4 plus 1. All of that multiplied by 1/4, okay, because I divided out by 4. Okay, now I don't know if that's the form that it's left in. I noticed if you look at your homework or a homework problem where I got this from, let's see here. This is a different problem. Okay, so mine has a 13, this problem has a 12 in it. You're gonna have to get it in the right form. And it looks like C is the correct answer because you can see I'm dividing by 4 here and I'm dividing by 4 there. So C is the correct answer. My problem had a 13 in it. This one has a 12. But that's how you do those problems. Okay. Now, in this problem, same thing. I have x in the exponent. I want to get it out so I can solve for x. So I'm going to take the natural log of both sides. And I get 1/4 to the power, x times the natural log of 1/4. I'm bringing that out front, equals the natural log of 18. And now I just divide out by the natural log of 1/4. And I get x is equal to the natural log of 18 over the natural log of 1/4. Now, let me see again in the homework to see what form they have it in. So I'm going to share my screen again. And I think this is problem 6. they have an 11, I have an 18 in my problem. It generates a new problem every time you click on it, so that's why it's different. Let's see. Notice that, we don't have 1/4, okay? And that's why I wanted to show you this. We have a different form here, okay? So let's simplify this so it matches their representation. Okay, so it doesn't look quite the way that their choices are, so let me simplify this. What they did was they separated, here we have the log of a quotient, and so that's going to be the difference of the logs. So this becomes the natural log of 18 over the natural log of 1 minus the natural log of 4. But what is the natural log of 1? It's 0. Log of 1 is always 0. So this is 0, so this just becomes the natural log of 18 over the natural log of negative natural log of 4. And so if you look now at the choices, remember their problem had an 11 instead of an 18, but it would be D would be the correct choice if you compare it to my problem. So make sure you have your answer in the right form. You may have to manipulate a little bit to get that.